Hey YouTube, we're out here at the goat pasture this afternoon. It's been a while since we made a video, so we knew we needed to get something put out to you guys. We've been busy here with the goat herd and some other things. We just started kidding out. You guys might be able to hear, you might even be able to see over my shoulder here, we have a set of twins on the ground back there, and several other kid goats around in the pasture now. So pretty excited about that. Today is Saturday. On Wednesday, we gathered all our goats and sorted through them and sorted off our yearling nannies from our adult nannies, as well as a few cull goats, goats that had aborted. And I was able to keep track of them in the last few weeks and mark them out in the field and sort them off separately. We put them on a trailer and took them to the sale. But like I said, we sorted off our yearling nannies from our adults, and we put them in separate pastures this year. And that's something different from what we've done in the past. Primary reason for doing that was one, we want to have a better idea of what our yearling nannies are truly doing for us in our current production system, so that we know what kind of kidding percentage or rather weaning percentage that we're getting from these yearling nannies. In the past, like I said, we ran them all together, and while we could pick out dries from our wets and know that they didn't produce a kid, it was a little tough to really know what those yearlings were doing for us. So it's going to do that, as well as by breaking these goats apart and putting them into some smaller numbers. Some of our research and talking to other people have led us to believe that especially for the yearling nannies, we might see some favorable results from that. And that's basically because you're limiting the amount of confusion or just stimulus in the pasture by having fewer number of nannies or mothers out there with fewer number of kids. Because a lot of times with these goats, especially if you've got a bunch of kid goats running around, there's some confusion on who's the mother and who's not, and especially those young nannies get confused, and then you have orphans, and those orphans turn into dead goats usually in our pasture setting under our management. So for us, I think that's a problem, and if we can eliminate it by breaking them into these smaller groups, we want to know that works. So those are the two primary things: just knowing what we're actually getting from our yearling nannies, what they produce, what they yield, and then can we improve their rate of production or get a favorable one by splitting them into small groups. Like I said, we've got a little bit of footage of us sorting on those animals, so you can see that. Other than that, a general update, we're very dry in north central Texas for this time of year. We haven't really had hardly any measurable rain since middle of October. We got a shower in February, but we're very dry. We're looking for some rain, hoping that's going to help with the spring green up. Our pastures aren't looking as good as we'd like them to right now, so we'd like to see that change in the near future. We have been putting out some supplemental feeds in the last few weeks. I've gone to putting out alfalfa for these goats, putting out just shy of 2 pounds a goat, basically. About 1.75 pounds, I think, is what it gets down to. This time of year being the bitter end of winter for us, and we're waiting on that spring green up, and there's some stuff coming out, but it's not quite like it usually is. Especially like our winter grasses will usually be a little bit ahead of where they're at right now, and those goats can usually utilize some of that. But I felt like I needed to get some forage in front of them, so we've been putting out alfalfa for them every day here for about 2 weeks, I think is what it amounts to. So a little different from our normal procedure, but I feel like it's necessary. We're in late gestation. Some of these nannies are already entering they're at early lactation, high nutritional demand time, so we want to be sure that we don't fall down on that. So that's what we're doing there. I don't know what else to say. When we broke those yearlings and adults up, we put 2 guards with the yearling goats, and we put 4 dogs with these adult goats. These 2 paddocks are probably, I'm going to say, a mile or so apart or thereabouts. And so far we haven't had any problem with dogs going back and forth between the groups and whatnot. So hopefully that works out for us on that end, on the predation part. So anyhow, I don't think I've got a whole lot else to tell you guys, so I'm going to sign off, and we'll be looking for you on the next one. Bye now.